reading from Genesis 6 right now in our Bible study, and we are currently reading about the flood of Noah. Guys, any initial thoughts?
Thinking about Noah and how righteous he was, and how he was, how he followed God, and in every step, and followed God's instructions. And then we also learned that it wasn't just about the animals. It wasn't just a pair. There were actually 7 pairs of
Chapter 7.
That was a big catch
2.
for us.
Yeah.
You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, a male and his female, 2 of each animals that are unclean, a male and his female. Verse 3. Also 7 each of birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. Noah's been entrusted with taking on animals into his ark, into the boat that he was instructed to make, and he's going to powerful. I think to me that just speaks to what's also in the earlier chapters of Genesis, being taking care, that as when man's been blessed with life, Adam and Eve, that suddenly that there's a greater responsibility, and that we have that in the Word, where we as men kept the Word, we as humans, we kept the Word, and that becomes a whole new responsibility when suddenly we're passing that on generation to generation.
I like that, preserving life.
Yeah. Welcome, Steve. Welcome.
Welcome, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've read this 14 times, and it means something different every time I read it. And I relate that to meaning something different because you're going through a different point in your life this time you read it. Next time you read it, you might mean something totally different. Say Noah's tribulations that he's going through, and relate it in my life somehow. And I actually could. I mean, not to the extent that he had the breath of life on his hands taken care of, but I had responsibilities, not near as heavy as much as he did.
Yeah,
You were being a son. You were there,
and and you
You
guys.
were there for your father.
And love was with me every day. I really appreciate
but
that.
it's what's in that book that we're coming to, that gives us that purpose, not just some ulterior thing.
God.
The ulterior.
And then he saw the righteousness of Noah in him. Man, it just shows you, he mercy, but also he was, he's just. Like God is just, and
Just, yeah.
and so he saved some life.
Yeah.
I like
Because
mercy and just,
he thought of the future. He already had that plan.
Yeah.
It's like
He read evil.
yeah,
And to bring good.
yep. And so you could tell
For
like
good.
he did the same thing later on as he sacrificed his own son, for us. And so you can see that his mercy, his love, all that is like, it's just like us, man. We be having mercy, but we get angry, but there's 2 different type of angers, Like God's anger is because he wants things to be right. Yeah, there was a reason behind it, all the.
Find it right here in Genesis.
It's just like a reboot. He got to reboot the earth,
Yeah, the reboot,
Like he had to, because at that time it's just like no one wanted to
It was a
listen.
virus.
Yeah, it was a virus.
Yeah, it was a virus. You had to reboot it and clean it.
It's a crazy restart.
Yeah.
But he did it for many reasons.
So we know by reading Genesis chapter 6, we understand that, God is the giver of life, and he's also the taker of life. So when we drop, God's morality down, violence increase. It's actually the laws of God that keeps us, being righteous, being in his protection. So we know that, through the righteous of Noah, that he sees that human has another chance because redemption
in Noah.
Yeah, and redemption in Noah. Noah is almost like another almost Jesus, but in the Old Testament. He was pretty much that at that time was the savior of mankind. Because of the crowd, because without the grace of Noah, none of us would be here today. Noah was the symbol of grace, of God's grace, because when God sees Noah, he sees that we still love God. We haven't really abandoned him.
Let's imagine that we